go.
Getting a little bit of static. I don't know what that is.
Me too.
From me? Does that mean it's coming from my end?
I don't want to say that, but...
Give me 1 second. I'm going to... Yeah, my window's closed. So, alright, let me connect to the Ethernet and see if that's any better.
You sound pretty good now.
Oh. Weird. Should I not connect to the Ethernet then?
I think we're good.
All right. Let's roll and pretend the last 50 seconds didn't happen.
Oh, it happened. It's on my recording.
Nope. Those records have been falsified.
I haven't heard...
Boy, they sure are getting good at Photoshop, huh?
Yeah.
And we are definitely good at podcasting on episode 108 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast. Fighting to regain supremacy over the quarantine cast. Not gonna happen, though, but at least we brought it to a tie game. And the people bringing it to a tie game are a man who has been in and out of the NBA bubble more than any other human being, Ryan Holtz.
I have two things. One, I spent half an hour making a meme for Just Andrew last night.
You know what? I'm not even going to make fun of you. That just makes me feel special.
Yeah.
That just makes me feel good.
That was my version of typing out a letter on a typewriter. Two, shit, what the fuck was I going to say? I forgot two. Two is also a thing that was going to be embarrassing about me.
Again.
But legitimately, me and Andrew were talking about this one video where Aaron Rodgers basically is just like, that's a big boy, like, talking about him. So then I...
Talking about A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, talking about A.J. Dillon, the very large Packers running back who was drafted by us and made us very angry at the time. But now he's a living meme because he's gargantuan. And so then I made a distracted boyfriend meme where Aaron Rodgers is the boyfriend. A picture of shirtless A.J. Dillon is the girl that he's looking at. And then a confused-looking Aaron Jones is the girlfriend. And I sent it to Just Andrew and then was like, do I, like, provide the context to the broader fantasy football group? Like, I have to send them the video and then send my meme, which would be kind of lame? Or do I just literally spend this half-hour effort on Just Andrew? And I chose the latter.
Aww. Good for the two of you.
An exclusive meme.
Which... kind of makes it not a meme,
right?
But
you know, it ruins the whole point.
What can you do?
Congrats to you, Ryan, for sending that meme to Andrew Clark, a man who has never simped once in his lifetime.
I simp for no one.
I
stand alone.
I simp for no man. Takes off helmet. I am no man. It's like Belle Delphine. Ah, God damn it.
Oh my God.
I'm making more memes in my head that I'm going to have to spend time on. God,
I mean, you don't have to because, again, you're just gonna send it to us.
No.
This is his gift and his curse. He comes up with such great ideas for memes that he has to put time into creating them.
Ryan, we can already see it. We can see the memes in our heads. You don't have to turn them into JPEG format.
It wouldn't have been JPEG. It would have probably been Premiere. I would have face tracked Arrowin from Lord of the Rings.
You would have made a whole MP4.
Yep. Probably would have used H.264 because it's a little better for compression, but you know.
Fair. Turn it into a GIF.
Oh, shudder.
And then rounding out the podcast is me, Lucas the Writer, a man who is sick of seeing people argue about dumb shit on the internet, but I don't know why I thought people would be any better. That's on me.
Oh man, first day on the internet.
I remember my first internet.
Ugh.
I saw a pretty great
Lucas
tweet
is
today.
just sick of the internet.
Fuck.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no. I just found a really fun tweet today about shitty white men playing devil's advocate on the internet, which was it made me laugh, and it had a great picture of a very smarmy dude on it. But riff while I find it, because apparently it's not a thing.
So Lucas, have you just been just recently engaging or seeing particular shitty arguments or topics that you're getting sick of, or have you just had it with the internet as a whole?
I've just kind of had it with the internet as a whole, especially the communities I regularly frequent, which definitely have their problems, but by and large are chill. But it I don't know, man. Some very lukewarm or non-controversial stuff has been setting people off lately. You know what? I'll just get into it. It's the fucking online anime community. They are just dumb and overreacting.
You're really struggling with this one, man. This is deep.
It's been.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
It's been a 1-2-3 combo, man. It's first we had people being gaslit over a very medium, 5 out of 10 anime. Now people are wilding because a prominent anime YouTuber was like, hey, here's a fun way that you could watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and just shitting on him for it. And this is gonna be a news of the week thing later. Major anime and manga pirate sites were shut down recently, and people have just been, actually, this isn't a good thing for the anime industry, and just fucking Christ, man, people are dumb.
So actually, I've been seeing a lot of this stuff because for some reason Twitter's algorithm thinks that I only want to see things that Lucas is engaging with.
That's the best stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I follow a decent number of people on Twitter, and 50% of the content on my timeline is things that Lucas has liked or retweeted.
You are welcome for that Chainsaw Man fan art.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of that too, and I think it's, as someone who does not care for anime, I think it is really funny to see anime fans that don't want to pay for it try to justify why they don't want to pay for it instead of just saying, I don't want to pay for it, because when I pirate stuff, not that I do, you can't legally prove that I do, but hypothetically, if I were to pirate stuff, it's because I don't want to pay for it, and I don't have any sort of justification for that. And if you can say that I'm a bad person for not supporting the original content, you can make that argument. I'm going to say oh, well, I got nothing there. But these anime guys are me not paying for the anime actually is helping promote it, because then if it gets bigger and people are using it illegally more, then that means that more people are going to watch it for free, which will create even more engagement than there would be if you had to pay for it, which is going to lead to bigger merchandise revenue. It's
it's
not
fucking galaxy brain stuff. Yeah.
It's just say you don't want to pay for it. We've all pirated stuff. I'm not gonna say that they're the worst people ever for not paying for the anime, because
but to be so self-righteous about it is,
and it's really funny.
Ryan, did you find your thing?
No.
Oh.
Another gonna get really mad at something moment. What the fuck happened to Twitter? Why is it
it's so weird
now? You scroll. It used to be you would scroll through a chronological order of tweets from people that you follow. What the fuck happened to that formula? What was broken with that? In case you missed it, is out of control. Yep. Literally, I will scroll past a tweet because I hadn't checked Twitter in 18 hours. Scroll past it, be like, oh, interesting. And then it'll be that tweet that I had just scrolled past 5 seconds ago will be in my quote-unquote in case you missed it feed. And I'm like, bro, how could I have missed it? This was 5 seconds ago.
And it's also like stuff that you've clearly, like, you must have gotten an impression on. Like, I see stuff in the in case you missed it from, 12 to 18 hours ago that I fucking saw already.
No,
like, I definitely didn't miss it. I clicked on the tweet. I, like, read, comments and shit. You, as Twitter, know that I saw it. You know I didn't miss it.
They're trying to play dumb. Like, we're not collecting data on you. Like, did you see this? We don't really know. Is that a thing you like?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The in case you missed it feature fucking sucks and everybody hates it, but it's been there forever and Twitter knows people don't want it. I don't really know what the purpose of it is other than promoting accounts that they're told to.
Someone cranked up
promoting contents that people have paid for.
But someone cranked up the in case you missed it machine within the last month or so. It was definitely always there, but it was like if I didn't check Twitter for a couple of days. Now it's like literally, like I said, I scroll, and this is not a joke, by the way, while I was looking for that picture of the smarmy white guy talking about, I'm playing devil's advocate, but because I have no stakes in the whole entire situation, so as a white man, I get to be like, ha ha ha, like, what about this thing? Anyway, that's the generic part of the meme. I was scrolling back, and I was like, I don't think it was this morning, but I'll keep going, and I had already scrolled past one in case you missed it section. And I'm not joking, I saw a couple more tweets, and then it started over, another in case you missed it section, with most of the same tweets from the first in case you missed it section. And 50 to 60% of those tweets were the same from the previous in case you missed it recap. And some of them weren't, so it wasn't like it was a glitch that it repeated the same exact tweets. What the fuck? What happened?
So it's the same thinking as pop-up ads in web browsers. It's disruptive to what you expect to be the chronological experience on Twitter. Therefore, people pay more attention to it and are more likely to engage with it. However, on Twitter, it is infinitely more annoying than just regular pop-up ads. And for the sake of, I don't know, being able to say that, yep, here's how active people are on our platform, Twitter is kneecapping their own platform.
What a roundabout way to increase engagement. Like, it feels like you're 4 or 5 steps removed from the actual behavior that you want. And I'm sure that they have analytics to prove that it helps. But fuck me, come up with a better idea, man. Come up with an idea that doesn't actively alienate your users. Because I've literally never once engaged with a tweet on in case you missed it. Because literally all of them are tweets I've already seen.
Yep.
I almost wonder if Twitter made this intentionally unappealing so that people will scroll more and give the impression of higher engagement and levels of usage, for the purpose of ads and shit. And it's like, oh, here's a tweet from 5 minutes ago, followed by a tweet from 12 hours ago, followed by a tweet from 45 minutes ago, followed by a tweet from 3 hours ago, so on and so forth. And you just can't fucking focus on any of it, so you just scroll for 6 hours, and you're like, you scrolled past 17,000 ads during that period of time.
I don't mind the ads in timeline on Twitter. I thought I would hate it when they first... No, I know what you're saying. I thought that I would hate it when they first introduced it. They're not that bad to tune out after a while. You realize pretty quickly what's an ad, within a second of seeing it. So it's actually kind of non-invasive, and I don't hate it in comparison with other ways to serve people ads. And I realized that, this just increases scroll, which increases the amount of ads that they can insert. But all it's doing is annoying me. You are making this pretty, honestly, seamless, and I have to give them props for integrating the ads into the timeline in a way that doesn't disrupt my consumption of the content that I'm trying to get to. With this really god-awful feature that makes me hate the feature and you as a company more than the advertisers themselves. Because usually when ad placement is really shitty and annoying, I just end up hating the advertisers, even though I know it's the platform's fault. I'll just be like, dude, fuck you, Audible, for constantly inserting yourself into this YouTube video every single time I watch a new video. even though it's totally YouTube's fault for serving me the exact same ad for 3 hours straight. But yeah.
Yeah, no, Twitter's ads are actually, fairly intuitive. They don't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Every single other platform I've been on, it's been like, oh God, an ad. And everyone just kind of deals with it. Twitter, it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not you enjoy it doesn't matter because it's just a fucking ad. But the rest of Twitter kind of sucks. and it's the social media platform that I use by far the most. And I honestly hate it.
Wow.
I don't enjoy Twitter, but I just can't stay away.
Because it's still somehow better than Facebook.
Yeah, no, it is. Facebook is just a fucking minefield. That's not the right word. It's just a wasteland. And Facebook has nothing to offer me at this point. Twitter has a bunch of stuff that I really like. It's just that the app itself is trying its hardest to keep me away from it. But I mean, I know a lot of people like Instagram. I cannot get into Instagram. Instagram for me is only a place for me to post photos that I like to mess around with lighting and color and that sort of shit. Instagram's not a place where I go to look at things. Twitter is a place that I go to consume. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the opposite. I'm not tweeting either, I guess. I'm not contributing to most conversation, and unless you consider Reddit a social media platform, which it's kind of iffy because of the anonymity of the platform. But yeah, no, Instagram I'm totally only consuming and not putting forth any content. And Twitter definitely also only consuming, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I don't tweet very much. I mean, occasionally I'll put out some sort of angry thing that I couldn't, keep in anymore, or some dumb joke that, I tweeted when I was drunk because I thought it'd be funny. Obviously, to no results whatsoever. I did recently put out what I think may have been the best tweet that I ever tweeted. Just engaged in a little mini meme and got exactly 2 likes on it.
Dude, I didn't want to say it, but now that your tweets get criminally low engagement.
I know. I have a decent number of followers compared to the number of accounts that I actually follow.
You've got 93 followers and you get maybe 1 like per tweet.
I know. I nothing. And I will think of decent tweets every once in a while to put out. I'm like, why even try to tweet an account that has followers that engage with it? Like today I almost tweeted, wear a mask, the cops can't smell the liquor on your breath. And I don't know, I think that's an okay tweet.
Tweet it right now.
No, because I'm gonna get 1 fucking like and I'm gonna feel bad about it.
Dude.
Yeah. I liked the mask tweet. I thought that was one of my more favorite tweets of yours lately, with the skateboard. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It read a lot like a tweet that you'd read from a more comedian type. So I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
Those are mostly the accounts that I follow. So
yeah.
That's just how my brain works now.
And I don't.
Jade is constantly thinking of just absolutely platinum tier tweets, and she refuses to actually tweet them. And she'll phrase them as, "Hey Andrew, how would this sound as a tweet?" And then she'll say something so fucking funny. I'm like, you need to tweet that right now. And she's like, nah. But she does that all the time.
I mean, it sounds like you. What's the point?
Andrew, thank
you. I mean, I think that was an all-timer tweet. You got 3 favorites. Wait, was the other one Lucas too?
I just liked it now. Ryan, you were talking about your Twitter account, so I was like, you know what? Let's see what Ryan's likes are on Twitter. And very benign.
I don't like
Good for you, Ryan.
Ever. I literally almost never like tweets. I don't know. I don't like any social media things at all. I don't know if it's because I'm awkwardly putting myself out there, and then there's the whole thing with Twitter where there's a pretty decent chance that what you liked goes out to your followers now. So I'm even more What the fuck are some of these likes? These are all accidental. I like to tweet from Nutter Butters. I like to tweet from Minions, the movie.
I think that's just ads in there.
And I just accidentally liked them?
No, ads insert themselves when you look into somebody's likes now.
No, it's got a little heart.
Oh,
I definitely liked them accidentally while scrolling.
I never accidentally like things. Are you sure that it's not just because you don't have a lot of activity on your account that you've been like marked as when someone pays for engagement, they use your account to do so?
Wait, what now?
I don't know. Like, I have no proof this actually happens, but one of my theories is that if you have an account that is not very active, that when certain brands or even just people pay for the purpose of like when they pay Twitter to promote their tweet and give it extra engagement, that Twitter uses accounts that aren't very active to like those things.
Yep. It is. In the last 4 years, I have liked a grand total of 9 tweets. So I feel like you should be pretty happy with that, Andrew.
Oh, holy shit, you really have only liked 9 tweets.
I don't do it. I almost never do it. And I felt particularly bad because it was one of your tweets, which never gets any likes. Partially my fault, because I don't really like any of your tweets, because I don't like any tweets. And then I was like, this is fucking funny, and I think it had 1 like, and I was like, this is bullshit, and I liked it. So there you go.
Well, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate the hype, man.
Andrew, thank you for liking my egg tweet earlier this week.
Yeah, you put out some decent tweets, Lucas. I like your stuff.
Hey, quality content. And we'll be getting into more of that in the News of the Week segment.
Ew.
They delayed Halo.
Yeah.
They're gonna Sonic the Hedgehog it. They're gonna completely redesign the entire look because everyone hated it so much.
Do you think that is why?
There's no way.
No.
They don't have enough time, right?
I wouldn't. I mean, now they do.
Do they? 2021, at most 1 year to completely overhaul the look of a major AAA title. That might be iffy.
I mean,
I almost wonder if they never had any intention of launching it in 2020. I mean, because they announced it, said it's coming this year. It's going to be an Xbox fucking whatever the fuck exclusive. And then 2 weeks later said, never mind. I mean, it almost seems like they never intended it to come out this year. They put out, the trailers and the gameplay, and it looked shitty because it wasn't anywhere close to being done, and then got a little bit of hype for it, maybe some more negative feedback than they had hoped, and then said, now that you guys are hyped for it, it's coming next year. Thanks for already getting, committed to buy the Xbox.
Yeah, that's probably the sketchiest part of all of this, to me at least. The Halo team definitely knew during that Xbox event that they were not going to meet that deadline. Yeah, but also some of the problems people had with the Halo Infinite trailer, that's going to take more than a year to fix. They can't just insert more polygons to make those characters less blocky. On some level, that is just the art direction they kind of had to work with the limitations that they had. It's a whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna go deep, and if they're actually gonna overhaul the entire look of the game, I don't know if that's accomplishable within a year. Mm-hmm.
Well, then maybe it won't come out in 2021.
Jesus.
Maybe. I mean, how many times have we seen this? Games get delayed, 3 or 4 times. I mean, Cyberpunk was supposed to come out 4 years ago.
But this is a first-party developer.
Yeah, this is Halo.
Feels like you really gotta get that shit under control. I feel like that doesn't.
The Last of Us was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just Halo.
That's a first-party developer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say first-party developer. Maybe it's more platform design or defining video game. Might be more up the right alley.
And then this all does beg the question now: why buy an Xbox Series X at launch?
Okay, so
oh boy,
I see this this little bullet, and I get it. Dunk on Xbox. It's fun to do. And with the Xbox announced for November, it'll now have exactly 0 exclusives worthwhile. So, unlike all those great PlayStation 5 exclusives like checks, notes, bug snacks.
Yeah! I was going to make the point. I was going to say, you know what? Even if the PlayStation 5 lost Horizon Zero Dawn somehow, if that got delayed, it would still have bug snacks.
It's not going to be a launch game.
Horizon Zero Dawn is not a launch title. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I wrote this bullet point with the intention of setting up a joke to then say, like, unlike, PlayStation, which will have... I wasn't going to say bug snacks. I was going to say... Fuck, I don't even remember.
Gran Turismo or some bullshit.
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Were you going to do the checks notes bit? Because I totally have stolen that from you over the years that we've known each other.
I don't think I set it up with that in mind, but I mean, it may have just come to that organically.
Yeah.
Damn, Andrew, you're not just fire on Twitter, you're fire in real life.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, yeah, it seems like there's going to be no games at launch. I mean, none exclusives at least. There's going to be Call of Duty, Madden will be there for the next gen.
GTA 5.
Hey.
GTA 5.
For the first time ever.
GTA 5 is going to be like a launch title for every single console until the heat death of the universe.
And I'm here for it. If it is free, I am absolutely going to be downloading it on every single console or
what do you think the free content, like the additional content for like the new console that comes out in like 2045 is going to be for GTA 5?
It'll be like the Wasteland expansion. Because they'll be like, this game was set in 2013. I think it needs a bit of a environmental update for how the world looks.
Oh man. But I mean, again, like, what else is there? Cyberpunk will be there for both consoles. Like I said, like the big video games that people buy that are, multi-console, video games will be there. But there's nothing that's going to be exclusive to either one that would really tie someone to it at launch. And I think that, both parties kind of realize that. And so they've been really promoting the shit out of games that won't be around for a while. Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon 2 Forbidden West, whatever it's called, is a game that, will sell consoles, but it's not going to be there when it comes out. And so they have to promote the shit out of it now to say, like, hey, maybe a year after you buy the PlayStation 5, you'll be able to play Horizon. And for me, that's reason enough to buy the console. But it's kind of weird because it's not going to be there at launch.
Also, Hideo Kojima just walked into a sound deprivation chamber with a bunch of DMT, so he's got something cooking coming to PlayStation 5.
What?
I'm making a joke. I assume whatever Kojima does next, it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
I'm sure, but it's probably not going to come out for like 9 years.
So do timed exclusives for the PlayStation 5 count, or just does it have to be like this will only be on this console for the foreseeable future?
I mean, I would say timed exclusives are better than nothing, but what is going to be there at launch? Because Deathloop, or is it Deathloop? It is. Like, that's a timed exclusive. I don't think that's going to be there at launch, is it?
That's what they're at.
I think it's like early 2021, wasn't it? Or did they say holiday 2020?
I don't know for sure. I'm looking at the Polygon list right now. Yeah, Bug Snacks, time exclusive, Deathloop, Demon Souls, permanent exclusive.
A non-original game.
Yeah, it's a fucking remake.
Destruction All-Stars, permanent exclusive. Ghostwire Tokyo timed. Godfall timed. Goodbye Volcano High timed. Also on PlayStation 4.
Yikes. Yeah, it's not gonna be launching with much.
No.
But I mean, the Xbox definitely is also not going to be launching with much. I mean, let's look at the launch exclusives for Xbox. Exclusives for Xbox Series.
Oh god, nothing even pops up in an answer box.
Well, okay, the funny thing is that I found a list of Xbox Series X and PC exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a true thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like anything that comes out on the Xbox is going to be there for PC.
So why get an Xbox unless you also want a DVD player?
Casual market.
Eh.
Yeah.
Casual gamers will never buy a PC. They're absolutely counting on the fact that PC gaming will not harm the console's bottom line.
So like Forza is there, but then again, PlayStation has Gran Turismo. State of Decay 3, like I know that State of Decay is kind of like a cult game that people like that play it really like. It's not huge though. Warhammer 40K. Stalker 2, the sequel to a game that came out like 15 years ago or something.
Psychonauts 2, James Willems.
Okay.
He'll be featured.
People
Oh, that's not even on the
like
list.
Psychonauts. All right.
I have Psychonauts 2 on my list that I found.
Yeah.
Confirmed to be coming to Xbox Series X. Oh, no, this is wrong. Yeah, no, that's not exclusive. It's coming to PlayStation as well. That list is dumb.
I don't
know, man.
I think all of this is to say, if you want to buy a console, get a Switch. Best exclusives right there.
If you want to buy a console, save up for one more year and get a PC. And then add me on Steam. I need Steam friends.
Epic Games, the owner of future tenant release platform Fortnite, is throwing a shit fit because they don't want to pay Apple 30% of sales on the mobile version of the game. So they created a direct payment method that subverted the platform holder's cut of sales, which has resulted in Apple and Google removing Fortnite from their app stores. This is also happening on Android as well.
That's what Google is, though.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I edited it to remove Android.
Oh, it's still on Android. Okay, my bad.
No. Well, Google and Android are the same thing. Like, Google owns
Yeah.
Android and the Android Play Store, but then the thing about Android is it's not a locked system. That's why they're really bashing Apple and not as much Android, because you can just download from the internet. Like, you can go on Google Chrome, download an APK, and install an app like straight from the internet. You don't need a Play Store. So
Wait, I thought Google Phone was a different thing than Apple. Not Apple, Android.
No.
Oh.
No.
A Google Pixel is on an Android operating system.
Wow, that was shitty marketing. Okay.
I guess.
I
I don't think they were really hiding it.
don't know. I never...
They use the Play Store and everything. All the Androids use the same app, quote-unquote app store. But then once again, like the reason why they're saying it's anti-competitive and blah, blah, blah is because Apple forces you to download apps through the App Store and Android does not.
Okay.
So that's why it's 1980 Fortnite.
Jesus Christ. The video that they made was so funny because the entire time I kept going back and forth between if they were doing it to like intentionally dunk on themselves by how over the top and memey it was, or if they're just like, oh, it'll be funny in like an easily recognizable format because of that, the one colorful character charging through the black and white crowd of people staring at the TV and then throwing something into it and setting them all free has been done so many times.
It was done originally by Apple.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell because it was so dumb that it was funny, but that doesn't change the fact that it was dumb. I can't tell if they were trying to be like tongue-in-cheek with that or not.
I think that the fact that they had it ready before it was pulled from the App Store definitely... I think they're at least partially self-aware.
Okay. I mean, like, they knew exactly what was going to happen as soon as they, said, hey, you don't have to buy V-Bucks in the Apple Store anymore. You can just go here. Like, they knew that Apple would say, can't do that, and then take them down, so then they could release the video and set their army of 6-year-olds with their parents' cell phones on Apple.
Yeah. That's definitely a thing, too, right? Like, oh, yeah, all your children are going to recognize 1984. A George Orwell novel written decades ago.
Anyone who has the wherewithal to understand those references is not playing Fortnite on an iPhone.
Or not giving a fuck about what you're saying.
Yeah. Again,
if you appreciate the message of 1984, you hate this video with a passion. This is 1984. What they're doing.
Epic Games, the fucking little guy being controlled by the fascist Apple.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you mean a massive corporation that is absolutely portrayed negatively in 1984? Cool. You nailed it, bud.
But what?
You're just the little guy who's making billions of dollars off the most lucrative media property in history? Question mark?
Ooh, I don't know. Think Pokemon still might have them topped out, but I see where you're
but
coming
Pokemon
from.
is separate properties, kind of
Well, but Pokemon's also had. If Pokemon as a franchise has made more money than Fortnite, which we don't know, Pokemon's been around for 25 years.
Also true.
Fortnite's been around for 3.
I just feel like it's also if you're looking at based on per title, because then obviously, you could say MCU and blow everyone out of the water, but it's just Fortnite. It's literally this one thing that they keep updating and keep stealing shit from. I saw one video that was immediately that Epic Games is already working on Fall Guys content for Fortnite somehow.
Oh, yeah.
They're already trying to steal that.
Anything that is ever successful will find its way into Fortnite in some fashion.
Yeah.
They're gonna find a way to put Amazon in Fortnite. Mark my fucking words.
Yeah, pretty. Oh, hey, you like this exclusive skin? What if you wanted to buy a plush doll of it on Amazon? Link in the corner button.
What if you wanted to buy a morph suit of that skin? And you could look like a horror character.
I just imagine not a Harley Quinn costume, but a morph suit of the Fortnite version of Harley Quinn.
God, this is getting into weird postmodernism territory.
Looking like the Greendale human being, but
it's
Harley
just
Quinn.
It's Wario or Waluigi. It's just a reflection of a reflection, just being continuously distorted further every time.
Yeah. That's what we're looking at here.
I'm adding Fortnite as Waluigi to the title list.
Get that SEO up. Although I think it's declined. I might be wrong in comparison with its peak. I think it's still ridiculously lucrative, but I want to say Fortnite has declined.
Yeah, it may be past its absolute prime, but its absolute prime was something that we've never seen before, and who knows if we'll ever see it again. It was so crazy how Fortnite was literally the only thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we can all agree that Apple taking 30% of in-app purchases from any app on the App Store is really shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we can also agree that, nah, fuck you, Epic.
Yep.
You make a ton of money. Don't try to leverage your army into a lawsuit. Would any of us have cared if you were just suing Apple and got removed from the App Store? Mm-hmm. Probably not. It would just be oh, whatever. Big companies fighting over trying to make a little bit more. That would sound about right. But
because they could have just tried to sue Apple, and instead, everything that they did so far, I think we can agree with, has been planned. Yeah. They knew what was going to happen when they created a different way to get V-Bucks on, iPhone. They knew that Apple was going to take them down. They knew that they were going to create that weird, shitty video and, try to get public support. But why not just sue them? What the fuck is public support and, PR going to get you in a courtroom?
Because
it's not going to help with the lawsuit, is it?
Maybe. I think that they know that this is probably going to come down to some kind of negotiation, and
it'll be a settlement eventually.
Yeah, and
if they can put more pressure on Apple, they'll be in a stronger negotiating position. Obviously, if it actually makes it through the courts, which doesn't seem likely, it wouldn't have much effect. But if they settle outside of court, if they're able to put immense pressure on Apple, they can absolutely negotiate from a position of advantage.
I mean, I guess we'll have to see, because if there's a huge reduction in screen time on Apple devices since Fortnite is gone, which, I mean, hey, I have no idea like what percentage of iPhone usage is completely dedicated to Fortnite. I wouldn't be surprised if it's high. Like maybe they can use that as leverage, but I don't know if anyone's going to be like, boycott Apple, support Epic Games.
Children will.
I guess.
So,
but again, they're using their parents' phones.
Andrew, I think I need to sit you down and
I don't have kids.
Talk about kindergartners with iPhones. We need to have a discussion. Andrew, I don't know if you've seen those babies that can't speak navigate through an iPad's user interface, but they're out there.
Jesus Christ.
I
felt like such a boomer yesterday. Someone asked me, like, if you ever have kids, which, I mean, I won't, but if you ever have kids, like, will you let them have, like, iPhones and iPads when they're, like, really little? And I felt like such a boomer saying no.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and parents talking about, like, limiting screen time and stuff like that and being like, what losers? No, it's like,
yeah,
maybe there's a point there.
We've seen what's happened. Yeah.
I mean, at least, like, limiting.
Right.
Otherwise, kids probably would literally just spend 16 hours a day looking at a screen.
Exactly. Like, I've seen, and again, I know that I sound like a boomer right now, but, like, I've seen, my cousins that have kids, they're raising their kids with, anytime they need to be occupied, they just get the phone or they get the iPad, and, like, they don't know how to interact with people. I've watched them grow from, a 0-year-old to an 8-year-old, and they still don't know how to communicate with people. And it's like, oh man, you just need to fucking go outside.
Yeah, that's pretty boomery of you.
I know, just like talk to people.
Oh no.
Come on.
Are you part of the anti-texting group because it's going to ruin all human communication? That was a big thing.
Yeah.
No,
even more so than
the
screens.
I know. And like I understand how similar my argument is to the people that just kind of went off the rocker talking about how the internet was going to ruin human interaction. But like I also think that I am not unfounded when I say that texting and Googling things and spending time in chat rooms is different than like someone whose first 5 years of their life has been spent completely occupied with technology. I don't know.
Look, I don't know. How much screen time do you guys get nowadays? Because in quarantine, I absolutely have a lot more than I would in a standard week. Like when you're literally unable to leave the house, it's either read or like be on a screen.
My screen time has actually gone signitically down.
You got that typewriter
during quarantine.
Andy, he's hitting the trails, getting out into nature.
Part of it is just that it is summer and that the weather has been really nice, and because of quarantine, I can't do anything inside that's not in my apartment. So I spend a lot of time at the pool. I go for walks. I skateboard. I work in the garden. I have been reading now. I hadn't read a book in so fucking long. I've been trying to, do more writing and all that kind of stuff. So I've been using screens a lot less. I have been playing video games, and you guys know I've been watching a lot less TV.
Until very recently,
I've been
apparently.
playing video games less. Yeah. And when the weather starts getting shitty, my screen time will go up astronomically. I know that. And I'm not going to feel bad about it. That's just what's going to happen. I've been trying to spend a lot more time outside and doing non-screen stuff while the weather's nice, because I know I'm going to get stuck inside during this winter because COVID's not going away, and I'm not going to be able to go to the movies, go to bars and restaurants and hang out with people at their places and do that sort of shit. So I'm going to stay at home and play video games and watch movies.
I did have the thought the other day that, once the weather gets shitty again and I can't go on runs anymore, that's That's a lot of my getting outside of the house time that suddenly won't be able to happen. Maybe I need to get like a gym membership or something, because that's going to be a mental health hit otherwise.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be bad.
Speaking of bad, going to TV, Patrick is getting a spin-off because fuck it. The creator of SpongeBob is dead and he can't stop this anymore.
I don't get it. Is SpongeBob not going to be in the Patrick spinoff?
He'll be in like the background.
I guess.
Why not? It's 2020.
Yeah. It's far from the worst thing I've seen in a while.
Speaking of,
but I don't get it.
I don't either. But speaking of the worst thing you've seen in a while, look out, HBO Max, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, CBS All Access, HBO Now, and especially Quibi, because Peacock is getting a MacGruber show.
Aw, man.
I am genuinely excited about this. I don't even care.
Oh.
I don't even care that the trailer only showed clips from the movie and the SNL skits. I'm on board.
The fucking MacGruber movie sucked,
The
though.
MacGruber movie was
Like-
great.
I remember we've had this argument 1,000 times because we watched it together in high school. I remember. And like we both thought it was going to be really funny and dumb, and it ended up just being dumb and not funny. But Lucas really liked it and I hated it.
I thought it was really fucking good parody of like bad action movies.
I've only ever seen the one clip, which is when they do the whole montage assembling the crew, and then his entire crew dies.
Yeah.
Which was then later ripped off by Deadpool 2.
Yeah. I mean, that was by far the funniest part of the movie, and it was in all the trailers.
Oh, I didn't see any trailers. I think it was outside of my demographic in high school for some reason or another.
You know what? As long as
Were you someone that liked good movies?
Oh, boy.
Because then it was outside your demographic.
I didn't always like good movies.
Oh.
I like a bad movie here and there.
My guy. You know,
Everyone likes bad movies here and there. I hope. Otherwise, you have no personality. I feel like if you only like good movies, what a boring existence, you know?
Mm.
I feel like you should probably acknowledge that you like them even though they're bad, but...
Oh, yeah. No, we all enjoy, like, a good, bad movie.
Yeah.
But, like, MacGruber was not enjoyable. Not because it was bad and I was above it. It just wasn't good.
Yeah. I'll maintain From Paris with Love, starring Jonathan Rhys-Meyers and John Travolta, is a top-tier action movie.
So, you know, because I think it's necessary to do this every once in a while, I'm going to take myself down a peg.
oh boy.
Oh, wow. Really gonna lower the drawbridge.
2 nights ago,
Listen.
myself and Jade watched on Netflix Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Lord.
Okay.
So Jade was a couple of days ago. She volunteered to, well, not volunteered, she was paid for it, but like she worked on set for a music video that was being filmed by someone she knew in college that was producing some sort of weird experimental music video, wanted help with production design. So he hit her up and she said yep, and so she got paid to do that for a couple of hours. And part of one of the scenes was like people like looking at a TV, and they needed to put the like just something on the TV, and they were going to then like edit over it supposedly and put something else on it. I don't really get the point of that. But like the first thing that came up on Netflix, I guess, was Dora and the Lost City of Gold, and apparently they all watched just like the first half hour of it because they all got sucked in. And she said, "Okay, now I have to watch the whole goddamn movie." And so she's like, "Will you watch it with me?" And I said, "I don't want to." And she said, "You know, come on, it'll be funny." And like it was actually like a decent, good, bad movie. But it was so unsettling the whole time.
What did they do for Boots?
Boots was just a CGI monkey.
That's really disappointing.
Could
it talk?
And in one scene, Boots could talk. Like Boots did not the weirdest thing about this movie, in a weird movie based on a children's cartoon that nobody's watched in a long time, that was the live action version of that universe featuring Dora when she's like 17.
Is that like canon?
I
they
have
say
no idea.
She's 17.
Yes.
Oh.
I think she might be 16. Actually,
oh, so much better. No.
Yeah, no. I'm saying I don't know,
This is
but
pretty
like
rough.
they do definitely say her age. She is a high schooler.
Oh,
that is part of the movie as she goes to high school. Whatever. Definitely unsettling because they made Dora hot. Gonna say that they made Dora hot and she's 16 and Dora is still a child in the cartoon. It's fucking weird. Anyway, like the universe is confusing because the opening scene of the movie it starts with the cartoon and then it like fades to real life child Dora and Diego and shows that the cartoon, at least in this universe, was their imagination when they were kids. It showed them running around. There was a CGI backpack that talked, a CGI map. Boots was flying around. He was talking. They're driving around in a little Jeep. Diego's flying through on vines. And then it like fades out and it's them and they're sitting in like a cardboard car. And like she's talking to her backpack that is not real. Boots is just a monkey. And so like it shows that like everything from that show was clearly just in their imagination. This is supposedly a grounded universe that they live in. Like obviously a ridiculous one in a movie made for children.
It's like a Christopher Nolan adaptation. Yeah. What would Dora be like in the real world?
A maniac.
But they definitely establish that the weird magic talking animal, Swiper was there. Swiper was a CGI fox with a mask that talked. None of that is real. But then as the movie goes on, some of those things are still real. Swiper is in the fucking movie as a CGI fox with a mask.
And Benicio del Toro.
Played by fucking Benicio del Toro. And Boots talks in one scene, and then they're like, oh my god, Boots just talked, and then he stops talking, and everyone's like, oh no, you're crazy, he's just a monkey, he couldn't have talked. Then there's magic. Like straight up like Incan magic is going on in like the end of the movie. But still like, the backpack doesn't talk. The map doesn't talk. Like Diego isn't flying around on vines. I don't get it. The universe doesn't make sense.
Wow.
They clearly established that it wasn't real, and then just a few of those things were for no reason, with no explanation.
Well, for no reason.
Come on.
I mean,
Swiper's
the villain of the story. If Swiper isn't real, what's the point?
But why is he just a fucking CGI fox again?
Because he's a fox! Swiper's a fox!
I know. I'm just saying they went out of their way to show that none of those things are real. And also, they didn't recognize Swiper. Like when Swiper shows up later in the movie, they weren't like, oh my god, it's Swiper. It's just, who the fuck is that guy? What the hell is going on? Even though he was in their imagination as children, Swiper's a mercenary in this movie.
Wait, a mercenary fox?
Yes, Swiper is a fucking mercenary.
Oh, no.
I mean, he doesn't like carry guns or anything, even though there are other mercenaries that carry guns and hold them at gunpoint and like kill people and shit. Swiper is just
PG-13? What is this?
I don't know. I assume
it can't be G if there's bad guys pointing guns at people.
Wait,
I know that.
Okay.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
I'm sorry. You are throwing a lot at me right now. Is Swiper a CGI actual fox, or is it like a guy in a CGI fox mask?
No. Swiper is a CGI fox, not anthropomorphized, other than the fact that he talks and stands on two legs. wears a mask. Wears
Yeah,
gloves.
Lucas, don't Google image it. I just did, and fuck, man.
It's bad.
I gotta.
It's pretty peak Fursona levels of.
It is PG, by the way.
Okay.
Oh
Not
God.
So what's the fucking point? Like, it's Dora, aka TV for like 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, gotta be G-rated, right?
Oh God,
Yeah.
they did Swiper dirty.
Swiper looks like there's that one bad taxidermy fox that was like sitting and its eyes look all fucked up. Let me see if I can find it.
I've seen the bad
That's what it
taxidermy
reminds
fight.
me of.
That's like halfway between that and the OG live action Sonic design.
It's something. It is something.
I,
Yeah, it's weird.
I,
Yeah, the whole movie is weird. I mean, like first off, I want to say that Michael Peña's in this movie and like has like the only funny lines, obviously, because they dragged poor Michael Peña into this movie for like 3 scenes as Dora's dad. And like earlier today, Jade was on her phone and like something came up, like Michael Peña's cast in something, and she referred to him as that guy from the Dora movie.
oh no.
And I lost it.
Michael Peña has been permanently tarnished.
Yeah. Jaws 4. You see Michael Caine, like, oh yeah, that's that guy from Jaws 4, right? No.
Fuck, this is...
So I'm sorry that I just went on like a 10-minute Dora and the Lost City of Gold tangent, but it's been bothering me. It's been living in my brain.
This is what Andrew does instead of watching Chernobyl.
Hey, I wasn't happy about it. But I mean, it was a good bad movie. Like if like someone was looking for like a bad movie night movie, I think Dora and the Lost City of Gold is not the worst thing you could come across. But I think that transitions fairly nicely into live action Netflix adaptations of things that kids watched when we were young. Take it away, Lucas.
Ayo. The lead creatives behind the live-action Avatar adaptation, the live-action Netflix adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender have reportedly abandoned the project, which is fine, actually, because there doesn't have to be any more Avatar, live-action or otherwise.
Well, there's still going to be, Lucas.
Yeah, no, they
just
haven't
won't
abandoned
have
the
them.
project in the way of they scrapped it.
Yeah.
Netflix is going to now do it without them. They left the project.
Yeah.
They didn't end it. They said, we don't want to be part of this anymore. Which means that it's not going to be fun.
No.
That's why everyone is like, no, this is now a train wreck.
I mean, because, like, obviously they weren't allowed to, like, publicly say, like, this is going to be shit. One of them, I remember in a tweet or some sort of statement, like, legitimately said, Avatar on Netflix has the potential to be good. And then explained why he wasn't on the project anymore. So it's like, this could have been good, but they won't let us make it good, so we're outie.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be good.
I think the quote from Michael Dante DiMartino, who's kind of the creative from the original.
He's Avatar.
It was literally, it will not be what Brian and I had envisioned or intended to make. Like, no, it's a L. Like, this is gonna have to be forgotten about. Like the the movie that it did not happen.
I think the general populace has come around to the point where, hey, maybe Legend of Korra has its merits, but it just seems like they're trying to get blood from a stone with the Avatar franchise at this point.
I mean, wait for the reboot. The
Yeah.
animated reboot.
Yeah, like how long until Nickelodeon just makes the 3rd series of Avatar?
Oh, I was just thinking,
mean-
reboot the original series. Pick up where the first one left off.
Cool.
I'm telling you, man. Just sit back and wait. It's coming.
I mean, in our lifetime, I'm sure. Maybe next year. We don't know.
yeah. Well, that might not be our lifetime.
Uh,
Hey, COVID joke.
So this next one had been the big anime news of the week before the other much bigger anime news of the week happened. AT&T is looking to sell Crunchyroll, with Sony being the most interested buyer so far. As Sony owns Funimation, this would be this would functionally give Sony a monopoly over localized anime in the United States.
Damn, man. They're gonna monopolize anime titties.
First they took Spider-Man, now they take anime titties.
What if they put anime titties in Spider-Man?
Oh my god.
A combination too powerful for this world.
What if...
they can charge $50 a ticket and get away with it.
What if the, the next Spider-Verse movie is just anime? Not an animated film with comic book tropes, just anime.
I mean, it could take place in the, what was the anime character's name? Anime Spider-Verse?
Penny Parker?
Penny Parker, yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Could take place in that world.
Yeah.
I feel like Tom Holland would be down. Tom Holland would be down for anime titties.
Wait,
Tom Holland down for anything.
Tom Holland's from the Marvel one, though.
He would find a way to get into it.
Oh, I see. So you're thinking that not only is Spider-Verse, the next Spider-Verse, going to take place entirely in anime world, it will also have a scene where they cross over into the MCU and Tom Holland's there.
Yes.
All right. I guess I can't put it past him.
And then the now much bigger anime news of the week: major anime pirate site Kiss Anime and its manga corollary Kiss Manga have shut down. I think this is largely a net gain for the industry, but as I mentioned at the top of the episode, people are dumb and think otherwise.
I mean, it's a little bootlickery to be like, oh, I think that corporations do deserve to control everything. But, I can see where you're coming from.
Right. So I can understand, necessity in piracy, but to be clear, Kiss Anime had made millions of dollars off of pirating anime that didn't get back to and none of that money made it back to the actual creators of the show, and that's a little not great. My personal opinion, piracy is fine, especially in the weird limited release circumstances that pop up fairly frequently with anime. But when it gets to the point where it is a cottage industry in and of itself, that's not super great.
Doesn't it feel like none of them, not enough money gets back to the actual artists and talented people as it stands, though?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, man.
Now
if 5% of those Kiss Anime profits actually would have went to the artists and writers and very talented people who made the show, and 95% would have just lined some executive at AT&T and potentially Sony's pockets, I'm saying it's kind of shitty, but
right.
I don't know, it's not as big of a deal to me personally.
No, I understand, and it's definitely there are a lot of problems in the anime industry and in those monetization issues that need to be resolved. And a major piracy site going away doesn't necessarily fix any of it, but it doesn't make it worse either. And yeah.
It's probably just convenience. Now people have to go to another shittier piracy site.
Oh, Kiss Anime was dog shit already, so good luck. I mean, unless you like seeing ads for Cuck Wars or name another thing. I don't know. What ads pop up on Couch Tuner? Multiply those by 10, and that's what Kiss Anime had going on.
Actually, Lucas, it's called Cunt Wars.
Oh, wow.
Not Cuck Wars.
You're right, it is.
I spent a number of days on Couch Tuner, not stealing any videos. You can't legally prove that. I just browse. I go for the ads. I go for the porn ads.
You read the stories. You read the articles. Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever been on one of those websites without an ad blocker. So I fortunately have avoided those, but yeah, pretty pretty fun.
Funhouse did a thing in one of their, I want to say it was probably one of their demo disc videos where they tried to get on some sort of website to stream something illegally, and then all the ads for those different games kept coming up, and then so most of the video was them playing it.
They played it. Yeah.
They played like Smut Stone and Gun Wars, and I think there's another one.
They played the Harry Potter porn game, which is amazing. It was pretty great.
So good.
And you can see all those on YouPorn, I think, right? They have like an uncensored Funhouse channel on one of the porn websites.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can see the uncut, unblurred versions of the videos.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's like a real thing.
Who uploaded those?
Funhouse.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's an official Funhouse channel on a porn website.
No way.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing.
That's so good.
Like when it's Bruce and James like cringing unspeakably about what's happening, and you're like, oh, I wonder how bad it really is. Yeah, you can find out.
Oh, I don't think I want to, but
well, I recommend
knowing it's there is good enough for me.
That's fair.
And then moving into the other category, other shitty anime manga news of the week. Writer for the hit manga Act Age, Tetsuya Matsuki, was arrested for sexually assaulting two middle school-aged girls. Shonen Jump just canceled the series, with numerous big names in the industry voicing support and promoting the works of the illustrator Shiro Usazaki. So
that's an unfortunate name for that manga.
Yeah.
And probably an unfortunate subject matter. I imagine.
It was about a high school girl trying to pursue an acting career.
Oh no.
She catches the eye of a director during an audition, and he decides to give her her big break.
Oh my god. Oh no.
This is Louis C.K. levels. This doesn't go well now.
This can't be real. We're getting punked, right? Like, Jesus Christ.
It's real. People have started talking about it a lot lately because it was 100 chapters in and hadn't gotten an anime yet, so everybody was gearing up for that to happen, but now, fuck. Yeah.
What's that? All from Anime News Network, the internet's most trusted anime news source.
Oh, God.
Which is, I think, my favorite tagline for any website ever.
So, while that statement is accurate, it does not fully convey the actual level of quality of their reporting.
I mean, it doesn't look, like it's reporting. It's kind of like, here is a statement of fact. Mm-hmm. Here is another sentence that states a fact. Here, like, it's not. I don't know if you can call it true reporting. Although they have used the ANN branding as though they're CNN but anime.
They are clearing some. Let's put it like this: they are clearing some very low hurdles, being the number one source for anime news.
I gotta say, Lucas, after the last 3 stories we've talked about during this podcast, I can see why you've been having a bad week when it comes to anime. I can see why you're questioning some things.
Fucking part of this is my job, god damn it. It's okay. Everything's fine. Moving into the meme corner. FE Meme Houses made a greatest hits collection on Twitter. And you know what? Yeah, rough week for me with some of this stuff, and this made me giggle a good bit while I was eating dinner one night previously this week. So, yeah, I'm grateful. Thank you, Fire Emblem Meme Houses.
So this is like UW Meme County, but with Fire Emblem.
Exactly, yeah. And yep, they ascribe popular, or I don't know how popular, but just like bigger Tumblr social media posts to Fire Emblem characters specifically from the latest game. And yeah, I enjoy it, having played that game. And even if you haven't played that game, I think the designs of the characters shine through enough that, yeah, you know the person saying this, you get it.
It's true.
You guys got any memes, or are we going into the breakouts?
My meme was obscured by Twitter. It was censored. Wow, Twitter is just losing control, and they need to be reined in, man.
So not exactly a meme by definition, but something over like just the last few hours that's been like trending on Twitter a lot is that people out of nowhere are just shitting all over Russell Wilson, which I know you enjoy that, Ryan. But it's just random shit that like is basically calling Russell Wilson white bread. They're like, Russell Wilson wears socks with sandals. Russell Wilson brings a sandwich bag of goldfish crackers to practice. Russell Wilson crosses his legs at the knee. Russell Wilson pronounces karate as karate. Russell Wilson would ask his waiter to bring a Corona but hold the virus and then proceed to chuckle.
Where is this coming from? This has to be sparked by something.
I mean, Russell Wilson was the number one thing trending on Twitter like an hour ago. And I clicked on it, and as far as I could tell, it was just from everyone kind of ganging up on him on Twitter. Yeah. But I don't know why. I thought it must have come from something that he said, or just, I don't know, like a video of him looking silly. I don't know. I haven't found anything. I think just people decided, you know what? Fuck Russell Wilson. For no reason.
Damn.
You guys keep up with the off-the-field lives of football players way more than I do. Is he not a great person, or?
Well, Ryan definitely dislikes Russell Wilson more than I do.
I dislike Russell Wilson for personal reasons. I don't dislike Russell Wilson because of who he really is. I think he's kind of like a douchebag and like has a very well-manicured public personality, which really usually grinds my gears, like with any person of note, where it's like they're very, very well maintained every little aspect of who they are outside of whatever they do, you know, like outside of acting or movies or singing or being an athlete. Like that always just really sends off alarm bells. And then when you read into it and you read about some of his stuff with all sorts of alternative medicine and
okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down now. Okay.
Yeah. I know that he's had a lot of like people shitting on his blackness, which I don't participate in. I think that that's kind of shitty to do to any human being, but as a human, yeah, I don't appreciate Russell Wilson.
Fair.
And I don't like that he gets to claim Wisconsinhood, and he went to Wisconsin for 3 months to play football, and you know, then it's just like I'm just a Badger at heart. It's like come on.
All coming out. And even more is going to come out in the breakouts.
Whoa.
I have kind of a bummer to start, but a better one later. Did either of you guys want to go first with something, or should I just take it?
A bummer? How could I say no?
Okay, so I guess I'm just going then. Former Kotaku staffer Natalie, oh boy, I hope I don't butcher this. Oh god, I am gonna butcher this. DeGraffenreid? Probably. Natalie DeGraffenreid wrote a Medium post that was pretty critical of Kotaku's management and some staff. And yeah, coming across this yesterday, I was like initially bummed out because yeah, it really was critical of an outlet that I enjoy and have been reading for a long time now. But then getting into kind of the meat and bones of the article, I realized that, yeah, if anything, I felt like it was pretty demonstrative of just how transactional any kind of work is, and how even at places that have a very obviously progressive bent, it could still always be better, and there's still always going to be issues with elevating marginalized voices and trying to do right by them, and just having apathy towards some of that stuff, either intentionally or not. And yeah, that's professional life. That's working anywhere, I think. Not to minimize Kotaku's issue specifically, but yeah, dream jobs, even dream jobs have issues, and I feel like this exemplifies that.
Yeah, man. It's like the professional version of Don't Meet Your Heroes.
Kinda. Ugh. God, that really was heavy. What are you guys checking out?
I watched the entire documentary series on Netflix, Don't Fuck with Cats.
Okay.
Which I was already obliquely aware of, that whole situation with the internet detectives chasing down an actual murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, when you run in like Reddit circles and stuff like that, it very easily cross-pollinates. But it was interesting, and it kept my attention, that's for sure.
So what is the premise of Don't Fuck with Cats?
So you've obviously heard of like a lot of the infamous gore videos on the internet, such as like 3 guys, 1 hammer. I mean, not gore, but 2 girls, 1 cup, stuff like that.
Yeah.
One time, one of the videos was, what was it? The actual title was like 1 guy, 2 kittens, basically. And as you can probably tell, it involved animal abuse and everything like that. So it particularly inflamed people, and it became evident throughout the course of the documentary that it definitely incensed people more than like human abuse.
Right.
The animal abuse. I think that we all kind of put our animal companions on a pedestal of innocence that makes it even worse when they're mistreated than like a human. So yeah, it then spurned a bunch of people to create massive Facebook groups desperately trying to find the perpetrator who made the video. And then the perpetrator clearly was like in on the game. Like he wanted that type of recognition. He wanted people to like play along with him and try to catch him and stuff. So he continued making the videos, and then eventually, as a lot of people are wont to do, graduated to killing a person and putting that on the internet as like, I think it was called 1 lunatic, 1 ice pick. And then
and this is all a real thing.
Yeah, this all happened in real life.
Yeah, he murdered a human and put it on the internet.
Okay, serial killer shit. Great.
Yep. So then it was like kind of, the police obviously then getting involved finally after all of them trying to get the police involved with the animal abuse stuff and saying like he's clearly teetering on the edge of going further. And then an international manhunt and everything, like Interpol had to get involved, and yeah, it's pretty wild.
How and so causality is hard to determine, but it kind of sounds like there was a chance that maybe this would never have escalated if people didn't start internet sleuthing. Does this documentary explore any dimension of that?
Yeah, the core detectives who are being followed with the documentary absolutely like express that, like, you have to take a introspective look here, like, especially in this case where this person was clearly in it for the celebrity of it all. Like, giving him attention is possibly exactly what he wanted, and if he would have just been ignored, who knows, maybe he would have never continued down this path. And it's like something that you got to take a look at. I didn't like how at the very end they like turned like the core subject of the documentary, who was one of the internet sleuths, turned like directly at the camera and addressed it and was like, and maybe you have to ask yourself, like, are you enabling this type of behavior? And I'm like, I'm so far removed from this situation. Like, I'm watching a documentary a decade after it happened about the events, like, because of morbid curiosity. I would definitely have not been the type of personality to sleuth down, like, look at, there's a model of vacuum. If you export the original video into 12,000 still frames and analyze every single one, you can maybe then cross-reference this vacuum with a vacuum forum online and find the exact model, and then that model is only distributed in North America, so you can now narrow down your search to, like, that would have never been me. So, like,
do you have any idea how selective I am with my likes on Twitter, documentary guy?
I mean, it was actually a woman, first of all, and not that you would ever know that. But, and then, I don't know, to me it just felt super, like, beat you over the head, like, you're part of the problem. Like, our culture obsesses over the murderers and yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, I think that's the human condition, isn't it? Like, we analyze the other. That's what we take pleasure in. That's what we were rewarded with for decades. And, like, if you're not directly influencing the events, possibly, I don't think that you hold any part of the blame there. I don't know. By and large, I thought it was definitely, like, well done the way that they acknowledged, like, yeah, I mean, in some cases we were directly interacting with him, and who knows what that led to. So, decent watch. And as someone who was already, like, kind of obliquely aware of everything that was going on, to the point where I even, like, knew the name of the guy, I liked it.
Very cool. Andrew, outside of the Dora the Explorer movie, what are you checking out?
Well, nothing really on my own. We talked about, earlier in the week, watched The Boys season 1. Looking forward to season 2 coming out. Have you guys seen the preview clip of season 2 featuring The Deep?
I've been avoiding.
Okay. Then I won't get into anything.
I also feel like we're about to do another deep dive into The Boys in the group chat after we finish gushing about what we do in the shadows. So it's coming right up.
I mean, we talked about it earlier this week. Do we want to do it again?
I kind of wanna.
All right. Well, we can do that then.
I'll just say quickly then that I've been playing Killer 7, the PC port. It is my kind of weird, just a very good authored video game that it seems to me, at least, that from the game that the author has, the main guy behind it, Suda51, shares kind of like my kind of frustrations with a lot of Japanese media, with the anime industry in particular, and I enjoy that, not to mention the whole noir branching mystery thing that it has going on as well. The one thing I will ask you guys, though, because you play way more PC games than I do, how common is it for a port to leave the button prompts up of the original release of the game and then just kind of hide away in, like, a start prompt, like what those keystrokes translate to on a mouse and keyboard?
That has never, ever happened to me.
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Every game that I've ever played will actually, like, if I plug in an Xbox controller, it will then use Xbox buttons. If I plug in a PlayStation controller, it will use PlayStation buttons. If I'm playing with keyboard and mouse, it will use key bindings.
No, I'm getting
prompts.
I'm getting prompts in game to press the R1 trigger, and that means I have to press tab.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing.
Oh, God. Very bare bones port then. Okay, yeah. One caveat to this recommendation.
There you go. I mean, are they like QuickTime events, or are they just like advance the graphic novel?
Some of it is a little closer to a QuickTime event. Like not strict definition, but part of it is. okay, I need to press this one button that I only have to do rarely now, and I only have a couple seconds to do it. Fuck, let me look at the cheat sheet that I wrote, and yeah, that element of it is frustrating.
It's not great.
No. Okay, that'll take us into the group chat. Talking about
What are we starting with? The boys or fucking What We Do in the Shadows?
Andrew?
Dealer's choice. The man who watched 2 pieces of media.
2 really
3
good
pieces of media.
So I watched Baron's Night Out.
Oh God!
Did you watch everything through to Baron's Night Out, or did you jump ahead?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Baron's Night Out is episode 6 of season 1. I watched episodes 1 through 6.
Will you be watching the rest of What We Do in the Shadows?
Doesn't sound like it.
No, man. I finished watching Baron's Night Out, and I immediately I wanted to text you, but I was afraid of it devolving into another one of our like dumb podcast arguments, and I don't want to do that again. I wanted to say, like, are you sure Baron's Night Out is like peak What We Do in the Shadows? Because then if you would have said like, oh no, it like gets way better, I would have been maybe. But if this is as funny as it gets, like I have no interest in it.
I don't know if it's as funny as it gets, but it's definitely like, if you don't like it, I don't think you're gonna like the rest of the show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I really didn't care for it, and it's not like I hated the show. It's just it felt like I was doing a chore. Like What We Do in the Shadows and The Boys were both similar situations of you guys watched it. You had been trying to get me to watch it. You know, finally Lucas jumped on board and you both really, really liked it. And then it kind of like became too much and it was like, fine, I will watch it. And when I watched The Boys, I really enjoyed it and I'm excited for watching more of it. With What We Do in the Shadows, it's just, I was watching it because I was expected to, not because I wanted to.
You were not expected to. Take that back.
Okay, I mean,
we have never expected you to watch anything.
I watched What We Do in the Shadows because I thought I was supposed to, and I kept waiting for me to like it. I kept waiting for me to like it because the way you guys described it, it sounded like I would really enjoy it. I could tell that you guys didn't want me to watch it just because you thought it was good. I think you guys thought I would really like it, and I thought I would like it too. But then I watched a couple episodes of the show, and I was just like, man, I don't care about this.
Well, damn. Pour one out.
Like there were a couple of moments that I laughed, but I feel like in a comedy show I should like want more, you know? And I just didn't.
What do you mean by want more?
Like I should want to watch the next episode and be like, oh man, I want to see more of this because I bet it'll be funny. And I just didn't really, I don't know, it just didn't strike any chords with me. Like there were a couple of moments that I thought were funny, but that was it.
What's an example from Baron's Night Out, a joke that just didn't land for you?
I think the scene like where they were sitting down and they were talking about how like the Baron was finally saying, you know, like, oh man, I got no dick. And like, I can't have any kids. And then there's like, oh, maybe we can be your kids. And then like the following scene where like they were all admitting that they were going to kill the other group. Like, I think both of those were supposed to be funny. And I just like didn't care.
Even when you're explaining it, it's making me laugh.
Right?
The show's fucking good, man. It's so funny.
There was something about it because like I could tell like, oh man, this is supposed to be funny. Like this setup is funny, but something about it isn't making me laugh.
Something is broken in me. Damn. Well,
I don't know what it was. I mean, like, and there were a couple of moments that I laughed. You know, like when the Baron ate the pizza. Not when he was like flying around vomiting. I didn't really care for that. But when he landed and they thought he was dead, then he opened his eyes like totally worth it. And then hard cut to him like rolling in the nightclub with the glow sticks. To me, that transition was so funny.
There's something about just the concept of the show, how it continuously builds on the fish out of water.
Yep.
And in such a funny way, because that's the core thing. Mm-hmm. You would think, I mean, at least for me and Lucas,
that's what it is. I'm just getting it now. The fish out of water concept to me is it's just old. To me,
yeah,
it
but you did
old.
like that moment. Like that's what that moment is. It's a thousands of year old, like old style vampire with wings and everything, just getting absolutely fucking blitzed in a club and having the time of his life. Like that's core fish out of water, and you did like that. So for me, that's like the engine of the show, and you would think it would get tiresome, but they keep finding a way to up the ante as the show goes on. And, like, I think that's most evident in the Randy Daytona and Colin's promotion
Jackie Daytona.
episodes.
Come on.
Jackie Daytona. God damn it. I keep calling him Randy Daytona. It's a constant thing with me. Like, where they even find a way to take this core concept of these are vampires living in Staten Island, New York in the year 2019, and keep, like, enhancing the fish out of water more and more. And it always impresses me, and that was another one of those core moments, and mockumentary, like that's another format that's usually pretty, not to be punny, barren for me. Like there's usually not much there at this point. I feel like it's kind of played out, and they just find a way to keep it refreshing and like keep me coming back and thinking that it's amazing. Like I don't know, I really like it.
I mean, I'm happy for you. I'm not about to like argue that it's not a funny show or anything like that. It's just it's not hitting it with me. I don't really know why, but it's just the concept is there. Most of the framework is there. It's just when it's executed, to me, I'm like, I no.
Even
do you not care about the characters? Because I love all the characters.
No, I do not care about the characters.
Yeah, so that's I think that's more where I would put the core at versus the fish out of water concept. Like, for me, like Laszlo and fucking even like Guillermo, who's kind of supposed to be the straight man, absolutely like I actually care about his character, and like Nandor and his relationship consistently like actually does something for me, and like Nadja, and in season 2 Nadja, or is that season 2 with the doll? No, I think it starts in season 1 with the ghosts episode, right?
I think the ghost is like one of the first episodes of season 2.
Okay, yeah. And her like doll, which is just her in from her ghost, like from her human form now as a and Colin Robinson, like,
hey,
just
what's your
bold
deal
every time.
I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt when I got rejected by the doll.
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't I wasn't actually trying to kiss her. The awkwardness of a denied kiss is just like a 5-course meal for an energy vampire, and then gets rejected by her ghost doll. And I'm not going to lie, though, it stung a little bit when I was rejected by Nadia's doll.
Even thinking about it now, the Baron eating the pizza beat, like the fucking beat where I'm not gonna lie, the garlic stung a little going down, but otherwise, and then just literally vomiting so hard he turns into a projectile. That I get it, man. I knew the show wasn't for everybody. I thought it would hit with you, but okay, respect.
I appreciate that. Yeah. This isn't like a, why'd you think I would like this? I would never like this. Yeah,
if anything, it'd be more like this.
What
would be your, if anything, it'd be more like doesn't. This? What's the comedy show that you're really, like, is peak I've done this analysis myself, because I have the same thing with comedy shows where I'm like, I feel like I'm not laughing enough. And then I have to take, like, a step back and be like, what am I comparing all these shows to that they're not measuring up? And that's like causing me to not like this comedy as much. And for me, it's Veep. Like for me, every time I watch Veep, it is literally like I laugh 4 to 5 times a minute, and I'm realizing that it's kind of ruining some comedy shows for me because the expectations are just way too fucking high. And so, like, I'd be curious what that is for you.
I don't know. There's not a lot of pure comedy shows that I watch anymore. Most of the comedy that I have are like in elements of dramas. You know, like The Boys is not a comedy, but it has a lot of comedy in it. I think that's kind of where it lands with me. Shows that are just, you know, joke after joke, where the premise is funny, like, you know, that's the whole point of it, just a lot of times don't land with me anymore. I mean, I don't know, like Parks and Rec is a show that I can watch and I laugh at, but I wouldn't say that Parks and Rec is like peak comedy.
So basically I think that you're more oriented towards like dramatic setups of characters and stuff, and that's what's causing the disconnect of like a pure comedy engine show. I think you want to connect with the characters from like a dramatic perspective and then see how those characters interact in a humorous way with each other versus
I agree.
Characters being set up as jokes and then continuing those jokes.
Yeah, there's something about even if it's not like I can agree that there will be a show, a comedy show. Let's say it's, I don't know, Lucas, name an actual comedy.
Archer. Let's
say it's Archer. You know, Archer might have a bit in it that makes me laugh really hard. And, you know, that's objectively, you know, like a really funny moment. I think a show that is like a drama and has like less of a joke aspect to their characters, that then something funny happens, even if it's not as funny as the pure joke that was in Archer, hits me harder. I think that like that sticks with me. And even if I just give out a little chuckle, that's to me funnier.
I'm going to throw this out there, and I'm going to say that that's probably more of like a social thing with human beings, right? Like these are, when they're set up as dramatic characters with like depth and like more interest to them than just how they're funny, you probably start viewing them as like old brain human, as, you know, people, you know, like real human beings versus just like caricatures like designed to make you laugh, like clowns or something. It's more of like, wow, these are my friends, old brain is saying. So when they're slightly funny, that's funnier to me than when a comedian is funny, because like it's more of like a social aspect for me. I don't know. But
what about you, Lucas?
I'm not going to... Oh, sorry. I was just going to say one quick thing. I'm not going to now add to the pile of recommendations, but...
No, hit me.
I'm going to throw it out there. Succession might be completely up your alley then, because like it is literally made by Adam McKay, like that Adam McKay who did all the comedy movies and then did The Big Short and everything like that, and Will Ferrell's another EP, and it definitely starts out like full-blown drama, like Game of Thrones-esque for season 1, and by season 2 they're like full-blown like hitting you with bits and like transitioning into like actual dramedy like interest show. I think it's real, and I also do think that it's one of the best shows on TV right now. But like if that's what you're looking for, like holy fuck, that might be perfectly up your alley.
Okay, real quick, Lucas, just for my posterity.
Okay.
What's the funniest show that you've ever seen?
Jesus.
What's the show that sets the bar for the other comedies?
Okay, sure.
And
yeah, let's phrase it like that.
Causes you to maybe look at them more unfavorably.
God, I'm really bad at thinking of stuff on the spot like this. God, I know I threw this out before, but like early seasons of Archer were like really good, and that's super frustrating considering what the show has become now, kind of. But like, I don't know. I don't think I view media like that. I don't think like I witness something and then that ruins like other stuff for me. Like yeah, I guess that's not totally true. This is going to go completely over you guys, I think, but there's one really good anime called Yu Yu Hakusho, came out in the 90s, and just that whole, and it did like the formula of hey, here is disenfranchised youth, ends up with like special powers, and that totally reshapes like a lot of his relationships and just his outlook on life. And so many other anime have copied that template, and it's just bad. Like, you guys are doing a worse version of this really good thing. Why are you bothering doing that? And I'm sorry, I was probably the wrong person to ask that question, Andrew.
That's fair.
I've definitely had that too. I would say that it's almost a different thing, where like it just, there's something deep in your core, at least for me, that was like, you're not really laughing enough. Like, I don't think you're really, and I think it's also deeply rooted in my like quest to watch all good TV.
Yep.
Where like I'm like, nah, fuck this show. Like, sure, it's an average show. Like, I cannot waste my time watching average shows. There are way too many good shows out there that need to be consumed. Like, fuck this. So there's I think a constant for dramas. It's probably more similar to like Andrew's system of like, am I looking forward to more of this show?
Yeah.
Like, am I really excited to continue, or am I more like ambivalent? Whereas for comedies, I think it's definitely more of like just a laugh meter of like, am I laughing enough? Like, am I really enjoying this, or am I just watching it? And for me, yeah, absolutely, Veep is the standard bearer of just like, good fucking God, how can you tightly pack comedy that intensely? And it's not fair to any other comedy show ever, because jokes per minute wise, I don't know that there's a show more higher, I don't know, higher adjusted value than Veep. Like, it is actual insanity. It'll when it's hitting you with 10 to 12 jokes a minute minimum, and like it's got like a 90% hit rate. It's fucking brutal, man. There will be first watch through, and then even second watch through, because you get the more subtle jokes on the second watch through, because you were literally laughing so loud you missed more jokes on the first watch through. You'll just literally, you'll have belly aches. It's incredible.
I cannot remember the last TV show that inspired me to do a solo rewatch.
Yeah, oh. I've watched through Veep 2.5 times, and I don't rewatch shows very often. That is an elite group if I've rewatched you. And honestly, as I've been talking about it, it's been over a year and a half, and I'm considering kicking it back in as like a background noise thing.
Yep. But
I am also struggling, and this, I don't know if this is group chat appropriate, but I'm struggling with finding like a current background mode game right now. That's always been one of my favorite things to do, is having a game that doesn't require full devotion, and then listening to a podcast or watching a TV show that I've already watched before. I'm kind of sad. I feel like that's leaving kind of a hole in my life, and I think that maybe it's like because of lockdown and everything like that I've kind of exhausted a lot of my like standby low effort games. But like usually it's any sports game, which I'm kind of on right now. Like, I've tried a few of them and none of them have really stuck the way they normally do.
Madden comes out in like 5 days.
I mean, I won't be able to play it though.
Good point.
So I would. Minecraft is another big one. GTA 5 fucking around, but that's not that fun right now. I don't know.
Are you gonna become a Fall Guys guy, Ryan?
Is that I honestly don't even really know much about Fall Guys. I've never seen a gameplay video yet.
It's a bunch of mini games, right?
Yeah, kind of Mario Party-esque mini games where you're competing against other people online. Gives a very like oh god, what's the name of like the physical game show, like a Wipeout?
Okay.
It
seems like a really fun game with a bunch of friends. So I don't know that would be perfect. Like, that seems like one of those games that would definitely be more of like a, get a bunch of friends together, which I haven't been able to do in a really long time because no one has a PC. And then Andrew got a PC, but then it's, just 2 people and it's not like a big group. And so I'm trying to lobby for people to get PlayStations, but it might just be the 3 of us. So, yeah, man. I don't know. I'm looking... And I always look up the recommendations, and they're always the same ones that kind of I'm always like, like they're like Terraria and Truck Simulator, and like I'm like, I don't think I want to turn it off that much, like.
No, there's definitely a difference between this is still like a fun, leisurely thing and, oh, this is just a simulation of a job. That's, yeah. All right, we're hour 45 minutes now, but we got to get at least a little bit of the boys' discussion in. I feel like this is too big a show not to dedicate a little bit of time to on the main podcast. Andrew, any more thoughts or takeaways? Giving you a little more time to marinate now.
It's good.
Why is it good?
Hot take.
Why do you like this? Where does this succeed where what we do in the shadows fails?
I think the characters are like I think that there's a lot of commentary happening, a lot of like relevant and important commentary happening kind of in the not even really the background, because the symbolism is really in your face, but I mean, like, I think that, you know, the themes of the show are pretty relevant and important. The characters, even the characters that, you know, are like, you know, quote unquote bad guys, and, you know, they kind of play with that a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think are really like well fleshed out. The logic of the storyline flows very well. I think what I said before is a lot of the stuff that happened in the show wasn't really a surprise to me. There were a lot of things that I predicted, but in a good way. Of everything makes sense. Everything in the show so far has made perfect sense with the world that they've built and the characters that are in it.
The only pushback I'll give to that, and I totally agree, this is really good world building in this series. I wish so much of the main plot didn't kind of hinge on characters just not remembering that they interacted with other characters. I mean,
Eventually they do like remember it, but it's like these are celebrities, like the quadruple A-listers. I mean, who's the most famous Hollywood person that you can think of?
Ben Affleck. I don't know.
Let's maybe go a step higher. Let's just say Chris Evans.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Let's say 8 years ago, I met Tom Hanks at a party, and I said 5 words to him. Would he fucking remember me?
What?
No. Now imagine Tom Hanks had a god complex and could fly.
What do you remember?
Do you think he'd remember me?
Would Tom Hanks remember you if he killed your girlfriend accidentally and then you made him shake your hand?
If Tom Hanks, you know, has possibly in the universe that Tom Hanks is in, has probably killed like hundreds of innocent people, would he remember me?
Boy, this is starting to get into defamation territory, boys.
Tom
we might need to reel in. I threw out Tom Hanks not knowing his name was going to be besmirched like this, because he seems like a really genuinely cool guy.
Yeah, this is different universe Tom Hanks.
How about Tom Cruise? Let's start going.
Okay,
we don't care about Tom Cruise as much.
Okay.
I was going to say Tom Cruise, and then I was like, Tom Hanks is probably more famous, and now I regret that because I feel like Tom Cruise could fit this analogy a lot better.
Okay.
Let's say Tom Cruise killed my girlfriend in a horrific accident and didn't really care about it that much because he's probably also killed like 30 other innocent people in similar ways.
Yep. This all tracks.
And I like made Tom Cruise say hi to me for literally 10 seconds, and then he left. He didn't want to be there. If like, would I be surprised if Tom Cruise didn't recognize me a few weeks later? No.
All right. That just, yeah.
And then if Tom Cruise had a meeting like a couple weeks after that, and someone showed me a picture, he's like, "Wait, that's the snaps fingers a couple times. Oh yeah, I killed his girlfriend." That would make sense to me.
I buy it.
Fair. I think my only one other criticism of this show, and feel free to push back on me if you guys think I'm maybe going a little too far with this one. I don't like how the only woman who's a part of the boys in the boys doesn't talk and is also maybe infantilized a little bit, even though she's supposed to be an adult woman. And that especially doesn't work considering she's Asian and there's kind of a history of infantilization that, I was a little uncomfortable by all that stuff. Am I out there on this one, or is this?
No, I think you're on it.
Okay.
It's a trope that I didn't like as well. I had kind of hoped that like eventually she would be able to talk and be like an actual, like, you don't, a character does not have to talk to be an actual character.
Right.
But like she was definitely more of a plot device for most of the season. I'm hoping that they maybe move past that a little bit in the second season, even if she doesn't talk, even if she's a mute, like. If they, flesh her out a little bit more, which I'm thinking they will. I'm thinking that she'll be important to the story. I think that would work.
Cool.
Even if she is just mute,
Also, Andrew, I know you pushed back on me for this kind of being a spoiler, even though it really wasn't, but from where you were, you thought it was. Saying an Oedipus complex for Highlander and I forget the...
Highlander.
Not Highlander. God damn
There
it.
could only be one.
Homelander and the vice president of his company. Not totally accurate,
No,
technically.
yeah, not exactly.
But also...
Basically.
That's the only way I can describe just how uncomfortable that relationship is to look at.
I mean, for the first couple of episodes when, they kind of teased that a little bit, I was kind of thinking like, man, it almost seems like he's got an Oedipus thing going on. Like, is she his mom? Like, and then I was kind of wondering, and then you said Oedipus complex, and I said, oh, so she is his mom. But not really. Just his mother figure.
Yeah.
And he burned her eyes out with lasers.
So then, without getting into anything from the trailers, what do you guys think is going to happen next season?
I'm curious where the child plotline goes. That seems like, I imagine it'll be the core engine of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Season 1 was kind of like the unmasking for the audience of the heroes in the crooked world of the company behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2
so I feel like season 2 might dive more into like the characters themselves and their relationships and how it's all impacted by the major reveal at the end of season 1.
I think they're going to get... This show has shown me so far that it can do things the right way. Like, does do things the right way. I'm fearful of them getting too far into the super terrorists as this season's topic of discussion. I would be like, and season 2 was the one with the super terrorists. Like, I'm afraid of that being kind of a gimmicky thing. But I mean, they definitely have not given me a reason to think that they'll fuck it up.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I'm buying it.
Ew.
I'm going to give more money to the corporate giant that is Amazon.
Oh, yeah, no, like, we shit on Amazon all the time, and the show that we're gushing over is quite literally an Amazon original program, so...
And even though there's definitely a corollary in there between the giant evil megacorporation in universe and the real life evil giant megacorporation... A stray observation I had of the show that I never thought to mention before is that I was going to say a while ago that, oh wow, this show looks really good for a TV show and like has a really great score, and then I realized, no, this is just super expensive because Amazon has more money than God and threw a lot of that at this. This is why they can get a bunch of licensed music and all that shit.
That's how you do it.
And that is how you do the 108th episode of the Voluntary Viewing Podcast. Thank you all so much for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a rating. I said comment twice. God damn it. It is nearly 10 p.m. by me. I am exhausted and have not had dinner yet. I apologize. And if you want to accept my apology, you can go to Voluntary Viewing... You can go to Voluntary Viewing's Patreon page check out some of our great tiers there. Give us a little bit of money. Help us out. Continue making the show great, like Tiffany Cole, Sensual Richard Nixon, and Sucky Badger are doing. Otherwise, check us out on Twitter, because haven't talked enough about Twitter on this episode yet, at V2_podcast. Keep up to date with what's going on here. Send us your questions, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com, and follow me, Lucas the Writer, on Twitter, at Lucas the Writer. Got some funny shit, according to Andrew. Not quite up to Andrew's tier, but still not that bad. We got to do a clap sync shortly, but do either of you guys have a note you want to end on?
Follow Andrew on Twitter and like his tweets.
Andrew, what's your Twitter handle?
Plug.
My Twitter handle is Andrew OJ Clark, all lowercase, no punctuation or anything. Andrew, the letters O and J, Clark.
That branding, though.
I swear to God, if you end up getting a Twitter bump from this podcast before I do, Jesus Christ, why does the universe hate me? If that happens.
The host always gets screwed. That's a thing with podcasts. The host who has to kind of like be the de facto straight man who has to keep things on rails is always the least liked member of the show. Like, without fail. If there are more than like 2 people and it's more like a 3 or 4 person deal, the person who has to play it straight always gets screwed. And I avoided that rule like the plague.
Hey, other podcasts out there, this is me at 50%. You want me to come on to your podcast, dial it up to 100? I'm game. So long as you're not Joe Rogan, I'm game for that.
Yeah, you said you wouldn't do Joe Rogan. You're narrowing down your list.
Hey, Joe Rogan's people, you want somebody from Voluntary Viewing to grace your show with our presence? Kinda has to be Ryan or Andrew. I'm sorry. You gotta play hardball in negotiation.
Yeah, it can't be me. I wouldn't do it.
Well, I guess it's up to me.
Andrew, how much...
I'll see you after doing DMT and just
eating a bunch of elk.
I will be a different human.
Andrew, how much DMT can you do?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Next time on the Voluntary Viewing Podcast. Goodbye, everybody.